are not on the agenda to be speaking. Next, we have a stop video. You'll use this if you need to leave your screen for any reason. But once you return, please share your video so we can see your lovely smiles. Then the last feature I'd like to show you is our chat room. By clicking on this chat balloon, it'll open our chat window where you can chat to the entire group, or by clicking on this down arrow, you can choose a specific person. So for example, you can send one of our speakers a word of encouragement, something you really enjoyed about their speech, or something you saw that you think that they could use to make their speech even better next time. And then of course, it is our policy that participating in our meeting, you agree that recording will be available publicly on our YouTube channel, website, and other public media. Again, welcome to Competitive Communicators. At this time, I will turn the meeting over to our president, Aaron Long.
Thank you very much, though. Thank you, First Master Tricia. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm still in the wake-up mode. Welcome to Competitive Communicators, where we compete with ourselves. I'm your president, Aaron, and there is always something in this club that always makes people feel interested in. We have the welcoming session whereby we get to know you. This is usually how we start out the meeting, and later on, you'll be able to participate in our sessions, in the field topic sessions, and etc. So first of all, let's do a warm-up because I need to wake up my brain as well. So if you see anyone coming up the stage, we always raise up our hand. Does everyone raise up their hand right now? I'm checking everyone's screens to wake up, to raise our hand. And then shake your hand every time when we see a person going up the ladder, because this is actually like a handshake or applause to give them like encouragement or confidence. So everyone, hold out your hand, shake your hand. Every time we see someone up there, we always shake our hands. Now it's time whereby we get to know you. So introduce your name, where you're from, and also how do you get to know about this club? This time it's very easy. How do you get to know about this club? So let's start with Tricia first.
Hello, I'm Trish. I live near Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, which is a very historical town. And how I came to Toastmasters was our former president, Paul Finkelstein. I met him at Online Presenters Online Club, and I was not yet an advanced Toastmaster at that time. And he invited me to this club that he was forming. So that is my story, and I'm a founding member. So I've been here since the beginning, and I've seen our club grow and become strong, and I love coming here every Tuesday. Back to you.
Thank you. So we give our wave. Thank you very much, Patricia. Next, I would like to invite Mei up the stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm from Clarksville, Maryland. Isabel and Jerry Wang introduced me to this club in April this year, so I joined this club in May. I'm very glad to be here. I'm working on my first pathway. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Wayne. Next, we have our guest, Justin. Let's welcome him up the stage.
Hey guys, so I'm Justin Meyer. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I was looking for a Toastmasters club that would be easy to commute to, and found some online options, and this is my first online meeting I'm trying out, so happy to be here.
Thank you very much, Justin. And remember, if you have any questions, feel free to tell any of our members. We will be able to assist you further as well. Next, we welcome Kanan.
Yeah, I am Kannan Shankara. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, close to the nation's capital. Paul Finkelstein introduced me to this club. I think I joined after the charter ceremony, but I enjoyed the journey with competitive communicators. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Joe. Next, I would like to welcome Gerard.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Gerard, and I'm actually a nomad. So I did come from New York City and headed out and just been traveling for the last year and a half. So that's a big reason why I found somebody suggested Toastmasters to me. And I tried doing a meeting, but it just wasn't working with the traveling. I actually did make a meeting. I enjoyed it. So then I went online and I found you guys, and I enjoyed this even more. And I'm glad everybody showed up so we could have a meeting tonight. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Gerard. Next, I would like to welcome Sunny.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters. I'm Sunny Fridge. I like to say I am a New York girl, not a nomad, but a New York girl living in a Mississippi world. And I've been a Toastmaster for 3 years, and I am working on my DTM, which I hope to have in the coming months. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Next, I would like to welcome our friend and also Toastmaster of the day as well, Isabel.
Hello, Mr. President. Well, I joined this club about a little bit over a year ago. At the time, I feel pretty new to online meeting. Now I feel I become really familiar to it. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Next, we welcome our very frequent guest, Dora.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dora from Guangzhou Toastmaster Club, and I'm introduced to this club by Aaron because a Toastmaster I met in Huizhou conference, he told me that he wanted to have an online club, and then I talked with Aaron, and Aaron introduced this club to me. I think it's a very good meeting that I can have at home. Yeah, back to you, President.
Thank you very much. Now we have introduced everyone and we get to know each other. Feel free to private message each other to encourage communications if you're feeling to follow up. Next is the time whereby we always have a person that's very important in this meeting. This person facilitates the whole rundown of the meeting flow from the start to the finish, the prepared speech to the evaluations. So who is this person? I've introduced a bit earlier on this person, and she's Isabel. So Isabel, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, welcome to our meeting. I'm excited to be the Toastmaster of the day. Our theme today is corn on the cob. Well, corn is indigenous to North America. That's why it's kind of significant enough to make it a holiday for it. Well, let me introduce briefly about our meeting. Our meeting has 3 parts. First, we have prepared speeches, and today we have 3 speakers. Next, we will have table topics. We will have a table topic master conduct this section. Then lastly, we have evaluation section of the meeting, which exercise our listening skills and the skill of giving constructive feedback. Before I get into calling our facilitators, I need to get more helpers. We have inspiration. We still have R counter. Who can be an R counter? Would you please raise your hands? Sunny, you're already general evaluator. You want to do double duty? Okay. And I need a volunteer for grammarian. Grammarian, please. Justin, thank you. And who can be a body language monitor?
I will take up.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Now we need the chat monitor. Do we have a volunteer for chat?
I can take the chat.
Okay, Kenan, thank you, Kenan. Okay, so we have 3 speeches, but we need 2 more evaluators. Oh, okay. Okay, we only need 1 more evaluator. So who can be the evaluator. I guess William is not here. However, Harriet's supposed to evaluate Kennan's speech. I didn't see Harriet. Is Harriet here? So we need 2 evaluators.
I will be the backup evaluator if needed.
Aaron, are you saying you're gonna evaluate somebody's speech?
Yeah, I'm evaluating anyone that doesn't having evaluator because Harry is also giving a speech, right?
We actually need 2 evaluators because Harriet is not here.
Harriet is not giving a speech.
Okay, then I'll check out one of them.
Harriet was signed up as an evaluator, but I don't see Harriet here. So that's why we need 2 evaluators.
I'll evaluate Kanan.
Okay, thank you. So
If you allow me, I can evaluate the other one.
okay.
I don't have a problem.
Okay, that's great, Kenan. Today we have a lot of people doing double duty. That's great. That means we have many competent communicators. Okay, first I would like to call our inspiration of the day. Mei, would you please tell us what's the inspiration for today?
Okay, I'm glad to do that. The inspiration I have is the secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom is courage. It is by a Greek philosopher whose name is Thucydides. Okay, back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you. We all enjoy freedom here. Next, I would like to call our Akanda, Sunny. Sunny, would you please introduce your role?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. I should know this by heart by now, but basically the purpose of the counter is to note any overused words or filler words like you know, so I'll be looking for those words. And one thing that we can do is pause just in case you want to eliminate one. Back to you.
Thank you, Sunny. Next, I would like to call our grammarian, Justin. Justin, would you please introduce your role? What happened? Grammarian just stopped his video recording. Okay, we'll come back to it. Next, I would like to call Arian. Would you please introduce the role as the body language monitor?
The body language monitor is mainly to look at all the everyone in today's meeting to see gestures, their lovely smiles, the positioning of the camera, whether they are seeing us on the eye contact, and making sure that we feel connected with the meeting itself and also the audience. So that's my role, and I'll be giving the report at the end of the meeting. Back to you.
Thank you, Aaron. Now I would like to call a chat monitor, Kenan. Kenan is also doing triple duty today. Kenan, please introduce your role.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. I'm going to make sure that the chat is used for positive feedback. Please encourage them. Please use the chat effectively. Hello?
Yes, it's correct. It's all back to normal now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Did you hear it properly?
Yes, thank you. Okay, next I would like to call our timer. Timing is very important to conduct a meeting. For this role, we have Gerard. Please help me welcome Gerard.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. My role as timer is to monitor the times during prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. I do need a little bit of help, though. I think table topics are 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes.
It's 1 to 2 minutes for
1 to 2 minutes. Sorry.
And the evaluations are 2 to 3.
And prepared speeches are different, right? I'll know right ahead of time.
I believe they're 5 to 7 for tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you, Gerard. I still need a volunteer for grammarian. May I have someone to do triple duty, please?
Matt's just popped in. We might be able to.
Oh yeah, Matt. Welcome, Matt. Matt, would you please take our grammarian role for today?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, and please introduce your role.
Yes, Madam Toastmaster, as grammarian, I will be listening for mistakes in grammar. I will also make a note of positive words and good uses of words and phrases. And I will give a report at the end of the meeting. And I also have to have a word for the day, which I'm thinking of right now. I can think of one and put it in the room.
Okay.
In a
Okay,
couple minutes.
we will wait your word of the day from the chat window. Thank you, Matt. You came in just in time. Saved our day. Thank you. Now we are officially starting the prepared speech session. Our first speaker is Kenan Sankara, distinguished Toastmaster Kenan Sankara. His speech today is from Pathways Strategic Relationships, Level 4, Building Skills, Relationships, Public Relations Strategy. His speech is entitled My PR Experience. Kenan is going to speak about his public relations experience during his Toastmaster journey. Please help me welcome Kenan.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. When I started as the Vice President Public Relations 6 years ago, my primary task was to make sure that our club attracts more members. I had developed a few strategies to attract more members for the club. I had developed the online newsletter, which was liked by many club members. This newsletter was printed and included in the welcome packet to the new members and to the guest packet to the guests at that time. I utilized the Courier Journal, the local newspaper, which ran a small advertisement free of cost, where it would say the club, where and when it meets. This also helped some members to understand about our Toastmaster meeting. I used to create a guest register through which we used to send agendas to the guests and request their attendance. Every member motivates them for converting the guests to members. At the time, the online presence was less compared to today. My strategies for public relations had both positive and negative experience. When I was a VP PR, I had set up a booth in the Indo-China Friendship Festival for our communicators Toastmasters in District 11. We had kept around 30 pamphlets and around 30 membership applications for that day. On that day, everything got exhausted within 10 minutes of the function. Many people came to our booth, and we did not have any informational brochures about the Toastmasters. So when we had a booth next in University of Louisville, we took around 200 pamphlets and 100 application forms. To our utter disappointment, no student came. We need to carry back even all the forms and other things. We created a radio show with my mentor, Nyla Miller. The radio show was a big hit. I think our Paul Finkelstein also created a radio show for competitive communicators. Building a social media presence like Facebook is a very good PR strategy. Recently, I worked with another member to create a Facebook for my in-person club. This is a great boon as we attracted many members from all over the world. Our club is a classic example that today itself, many members from all parts of the world are attending this meeting. We need to make sure that we use the social media diligently without compromising the security and sharing personal information. Our District 18 has created a meetup where every club can mention when they are meeting and where they are meeting. The meter subscription is around $80 per annum per district. The club can share the information about the meeting date and meeting time. Now I'm going to talk about my negative experience. Recently, one of my clubs wanted to broadcast one event wherein a guest speaker was invited. We wanted to broadcast that event in Facebook and Meetup. I had taken the responsibility to broadcast the event through Meetup. I am IT guy. I can learn everything fast. This was my attitude. Pride always make the person to fall. That is the proverb in my language. I have created the event, but alas, instead of sending to the Canadian Toastmaster group, I had sent to all the people in Canada, all the groups. I think instead of selecting the Toastmaster group, I had sent it to all in a hurry. Unfortunately, the guest speaker could not attend on that day, and our area director thankfully filled the role. That is not the end. The event was displayed in Meetup and sent to all members even after the event was complete. I have to physically log on to Meetup and deleted the event every day. I logged on to Meetup. I don't know what mistake I made. Important lesson learned. Do not use the tool until you familiarize yourself. Another good lesson learned. When you pay to Facebook $12.50 per day, more people are able to see the club advertisement posting, and the event is telecasted to more audience. I do not know how Facebook is doing that. That is a good strategy we can think of. $12.50 per day we have to think, and maybe we need to send 3 or 4 days before the event. While the online social media is a great PR strategy to attract more members, this also comes with challenges. When the club shares a meeting information, we need to make sure that none of the members' personal information is available online without the consent of the members. This requires maybe a little bit of careful planning, because people like me may accidentally send it to all over the world. Sometimes PR strategies may not work at that time. We should not lose hope that a strategy is a failure. The same strategy may work in another place. For example, placing a booth strategy in my own example did not work in one event, whereas it has worked in another day. We should not lose heart, but continue with our strategy. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenan. Thank you very much for your speech. You shared a lot of valuable experience for us. Now we have 1 minute evaluation on the chat. Please give feedback to Kenan via chat. Timer, would you please tell me when 1 minute is up?
Oh, yes. Can I tell you?
Members, please send Kenan some constructive feedback via the chat.
Okay, 1 minute is up.
Thank you. Thank you, Jurad. What our grammarian just introduced the word of the day. Matt, would you please tell us what's the word day of would you like to announce what's the word of the day?
Yes, Madam Toastmaster. The word of the day is nubby. It's an adjective, and I have a sentence in the chat room. If you rub your fingers across a corn of the cob, it feels very nubby. So I thought that word was appropriate for our theme tonight. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Matt. Try to think about what else feels nubby too. Well, our next speaker is Mei Han. Mei Han is working on her pathway leadership development level 1, mastering fundamentals. It's about evaluation and feedback. This is the first speech for the project. Because today is the corn on the cob day, so that inspired Mei Han to share her family story with us about the cooking. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Mei.
Thanks, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I have been thinking a question: who should do the cooking at home since I was a teenager? And since today's meeting is Corn on the Cob Day, I would like to share a family story about cooking. Who cooks what? And this meeting thing also reminds me some precious memory about my grandma. My grandma often cooked corns after lunchtime during summer, while my cousins and me were taking naps. And school children were required to take naps before they returned to the school in the afternoon in China, because the summer day is too long. And even some adults prefer to take naps to get recharged. However, I was never a good nap taker. I often just wait for the smell of the freshly cooked corn to come out of the kitchen, and I will jump out of the bed and get a corn and feel the nubby feeling of the corn. And my grandma, in my grandparents' house, my grandma did all the cooking and my grandpa didn't do it. And then when it comes to my mom's generation, my mom does all the cooking for the family and my dad doesn't really do it. My dad can cook a few dishes. He cook noodles as breakfast. He eats every day. It's spicy and actually tastes good. But I don't remember my dad cook for the family. So I used to be very jealous of my cousins because my cousins' dads always cook for their families, and they are my uncles. And my mom never taught me how to cook, but I enjoyed observing my mom cooking and chat with her while she prepared food. And so after I come to US, I discovered that I could actually cook magically. And then life moves on. I have my own family. So just like my mom, I cook for the family. And except one situation, that when my mom visits us, my mom would like to take over the cooking. And I guess my mom probably is the only person who doesn't know that I could actually replicate some of her dishes pretty well. Okay, so is it too boring if only one parent cooking at home? For a long time, I cook and my husband wash dishes. And my daughters get so fed up with the way I fried eggs, which is very carefully turned and with no crispy brownish yellow parts, crispy parts. So after one camp trip, my daughters declared to me that they really like the eggs cooking by a friend's dad in the campsite. My response was, wow, of course, everybody likes dad's fried eggs. And In the meanwhile, my husband started to take care of breakfast. And the egg he fried is actually pretty much like the egg fried by a friend's dad in a campsite. Everybody in my family loves it, including me. Then until my 13-year-old asked us a question. Why you guys always fry or scramble eggs in the American way or Chinese way? Our response is, oh, we don't know other ways, honey. And my daughter started to try herself. So she cut a hole in the center of the piece of the bread and put butter into the pan, put the bread into the pan, and crack egg into the hole of the bread. And flip over. She make the egg in the hole French toast. It smells really good. And now, my husband and my daughter both have several dishes they actually like to cook. And even my 8-year-old likes to observe and sometimes help me in the kitchen. So I'm very glad for their participation. And there's a saying that cooking is an extension of love. I guess if we learn how to cook, we probably learned how to love. Thank you. Back to you, Miss Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Mei. Thank you for this lovely speech. I really enjoyed listening to your family story about cooking. As when you were talking about your daughter, I was thinking about how old was your daughter when you first started to let her cook her food? How old was her?
I think in middle school, they start to learn a course. It's family, yeah, and
Okay.
we'll learn how to turn on the stove and turn off. We were kind of nervous about her using the gas, so we give her the magnet. What's that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I think probably it's called induction.
Oh, induction, right? Yeah. Induction stuff.
Well, thank you very much for sharing, because I was thinking about seriously, when should I start teaching my daughter cooking?
The school will start as well.
Yeah. Well, let's have 1 minute silence. Please give feedback, encouragement, and your suggestions for improvement through the chat. And Ms. Timer, please let me know when 1 minute is up.
One minute is up.
Thanks.
Okay. One minute is up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tama. Well, this concludes our prepared speech session. Now we're going to start our impromptu speech session. For this session, we have our Toastmaster Sergeant and Arm Tricia Grow to conduct this meeting. Please help me welcome Tricia.
Thank you, everyone. And for our guests, if you are not familiar with table topics, this is the section where we have impromptu questions. You don't know what they are beforehand. So it's a real life situation. Your boss might come up to you in a hallway and ask you a question about how your project is going. He doesn't want a 10-minute dissertation. He just wants a 1 or 2 minute quick synopsis of where you're at. So this actually is an exercise that helps build your muscle in your brain to be able to organize your thoughts quickly and give a quick synopsis, even though you're not really prepared. So today I have 4 questions. I'm going to be doing it slightly differently. I have pictures that have the question listed underneath them. So you'll have a choice to choose between 1 through 4. You'll see a picture and the question will be underneath the picture. So my first person I would like to call on is Dora. Dora, would you like to participate in table topics tonight? You have to unmute yourself, hon.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity.
What number would you like? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
1, please.
1?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be sharing my screen here with a picture.
Okay.
So this is your picture of corn. And I would like you to tell us a story about the time you ate the best corn or other vegetable you ever ate in your life.
Okay. It's vegetable I ate in my life. Yeah. I think corn is a very healthy food and I like it a lot. When we are cooking the corn, we can smell the nice. We can smell the nice smell from corn. The food my mother used to cook corn for me for breakfast when I was a kid, and I like that a lot because you see the corn is very sweet and it smells really good, and also it's a very good vegetable and very healthy. But when I grow up and I leave my hometown and come to the city to work, I seldom cook breakfast for myself. Yeah, so I miss that a lot. I think corn is not only a vegetable, but it is a symbol that it is a symbol of love that from my mother that I used to ignore, I may say. Yeah, I was young and didn't know that the food that cooked by my mother actually is representing how she loved me. So now when I come back to my hometown, I always ask my mother to cook corn for me. So and I treasure that memory in my childhood. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dora. It's a very sweet story. I'm sure we all have stories very similar to that. My next volunteer I'd like to ask is our guest, Justin. Would you like to participate in table topics this evening?
Sure.
Great, so we have 2, 3, or 4.
Let me go with number 2.
Okay, I have that queued up. Let me share my screen. So this is a picture of Mexican corn on the cob. And there's the question for you, is there a regional way to make corn in your region? If so, how is that prepared? Or what is your favorite way to eat corn?
Okay. So that that picture is pretty appropriate. So being in living in Texas right now, we're not too far from the Mexican border, and that actually is my my favorite way to eat corn. So I've definitely acquired a taste for very spicy food, which is very common here. So a lot of peppers, a lot of spicy seasoning is added to food, and including corn. So corn by itself, it has an okay taste. I mean, but once you mix in the butter and some hot seasoning, it's got a very, you know, much more rich and full flavor. So that would be my, you know, that's kind of the local local cuisine and my preferred way to have it. Although growing up, my grandparents had a farm, so that was kind of a special treat to go out to my grandparents, and they grew corn there, and have my grandma make food for us, and have our very large extended family get together and have a cookout together. So that was also a nice treat as well.
Great, thank you so much, Justin.
Mhm.
I was suspected when I see that, or heard that you chose number 2, knowing where you live. I was like, oh, this is perfect for you. All right, my next volunteer, I would like to ask Rainey. Rainey, would you like to participate tonight?
Yes.
Okay, we have 3 or 4 left.
4.
4. Okay, let me cue that up. All right, and now I will share my screen. So this is flaming hot corn on the cob. Do you feel that this is completely out of the box, or a different way to eat corn on the cob, or something you would look forward to trying?
Yes, I think this is something that I have never ever tasted before, but it looks very delicious to me. You know, I was born in a city where spicy food is our favorite. Uh, and everything of our dish is all about spicy. So we can't live without spicy. And so like when you put some chili, spicy chili into your food, you can see the color is always red. The soup or every fried chicken or anything that is red. And for me, red is something very kind of kind of intriguing for me, and I will always be interested to try something that looks very red because I know that's spicy. So for the picture, for the food you have shown me on the picture, I think it must be very delicious because it's all red. And I really like to have a try. And I think why people in my city love to eat chili is because, it gives people a very special taste, and it sometimes will refresh our mind. And I think it makes us kind of exciting. And so I think kind of chili is a culture in my hometown. And so people in my province are very kind of warm-hearted, and sometimes we are very hot, hot-tempered. Um, so I think I am very happy that I was born in a place where spicy food is a very tradition in our place. And I love to be, I'm very happy to be a spicy girl. Back to you.
Thank you so much. I was like 2 for 2 batting with those questions. I got to the appropriate people. I knew you would want the spicy one. All right, I have one question left. Gerard, I know you're our timer, but would you like to try and participate in our top topics tonight as well?
Yes.
Okay. Let me cue up our last picture. All right, and I'll share my screen. So this picture is showing corn being eaten a little differently. Can you imagine a different way to eat a vegetable that your family eats often? And what would your new recipe be?
Thank you. I actually like eating corn that way. Corn on the cob is way too much work for me. Or it seemed that way. Or it gets stuck in the teeth when you do it that way. So the way I like it is with somebody else doing it, not me, stripping it down, vegetables, and I like spicy also. So I would like a lot of spicy peppers and chilies in there. And I also like cheese makes vegetables edible for me. So I don't cook. I don't like cooking. I hate cleaning up, even worse. So this is not a table topic that I'm an expert on tonight. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, Gerard. You know, what the nice thing about table topics is, and this is for our guests as well, is that you can either pivot to something you'd rather talk about. You don't have to talk about what I ask you about, or you can just make something up. But I do appreciate your sharing. I will now turn the meeting back over to our Toastmaster today, Isabel.
Thank you, Trish. Thank you for conducting a fabulous table topic session. I wonder if other members have noticed that today every table topic speaker made a long speech. My estimate is everyone is above like 2.5 minutes. I guess. I also want to mention that I love the Trisha's creative way of showing table topics. It's very graphic, very interesting. Thank you. Well, now we're going to start the evaluation section of the meeting. For this segment, we'll have Toastmaster Sunny Fridge to conduct this part of the meeting. Please help me welcome Sunny Fridge.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Table Topics of the Day. And this is the part of the meeting where we are listening. And we will now have the prepared speeches evaluated. Our first evaluator will be Aaron Lung. He will be evaluating the speech of Kanan Sakara. Please help me welcome Aaron Young.
Toastmasters. Wow. Hearing that speech makes my tongue goes lumpy. And it really makes me feel that this is a very, very thorough presentation speech. It's about power relations strategies, and Kanan is doing a speech titled 5 P's Strategies Experience. As I get to know Kanan in his speech itself, you can tell one thing that is highlighting the whole element of expect. It's putting vocal variety to let us picture along with us on how his PR experience goes. He talked about one successful and one tough challenge. And the challenge that we faced related to Meetup was really astounding. I mean, like, you told us the deeps of pains that you faced, which is similar to mine that I experienced before. So I can feel and connect with you. Now, as I mentioned earlier on about the part whereby we feel the authentic experience, the vocal variety that you add onto it, and I see the gestures that add to the value onto it, we can say that if you get the visual effect, you get full marks. Now, this project focused more on that. And these are the challenge that I want to issue to Kanan to make it even better. Now, public relations strategy project actually focus on a plan that helps to promote awareness of our organization. You focus on the organization, which is great. Now, one of the elements in this manual itself is about the effectiveness. You talk about the meetup part whereby you face a challenge, you have to deal with it. Now, what effectiveness would it pose to your organization? Is it a very negative image? Is it a very cussy thing to do that everyone has to follow suit? So I want to know the results of it as well. So the project itself, it also focuses on your plan, and at the end is actually focusing on what you learn from it and what are the possible consequences or possible results that you get out. So with this in mind, as an evaluator, I want to know more about these aspects too. So the scenario build, great job. Now I want you to focus more on what are the consequences of possible results that you have at the end, and tell us how it will be applicable to us audience as well. Once you do that, then I will give you definitely full marks for that. So this is one key challenge for Kanan. The next key challenge for Kanan would be that I want to see Kanan's other side. When I say other side, meaning that I've been seeing Kanan being very authentic, passionate, always that bursting flavor of energy. Now, try to put a bit of pacing. Slowly build up the flavor by pausing at the right moment. Now I'm going to talk about the challenges I made. Would you like to hear that? You see that the dull difference is about drawing in the audience. Once you start off with a tone of different vocal varieties, it's just like a chart. People will start to get used to that tone, and there's no differentiating about where the contrast is. So I would like to challenge Kanan in terms of giving a flavor of setting the pace of the speech. Fast or slow is up to you. But when you talk about the second point or second story, make that contrast very obvious for us to follow. Other than that, great job, Kanan. I look forward to the next speech. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Aaron Lung, for that evaluation. I'd like to now call on the prepared speaker, taking on another role. Kanan Sakara will evaluate the speech of Mei Han. Please help me welcome Kanan.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Mei Han. Who should do the cooking at home? By talking about food, you created a vibration in our president's tummy. He immediately felt very hungry. I could see his chat. Great job, Mei Han, because you painted the picture. I could clearly visualize that your grandma did the cooking, your mom did most of the cooking, and dad cooked a few items. Trust me, in my house, it is the same. My dad never entered the kitchen. He will enter the kitchen only to eat, because we used to eat in the kitchen. So in India also, dad never cook. But in my life, same like your life also, I used to do some cooking for my son, but I never do conventional recipe. I threw something which is totally different, but my son loved it because it was different than the normal thing. So I could really understand how your daughter went. You painted the picture very well. That is a very positive thing. I'm going to talk about the good positive here first. You created a visual image very well. You shared a personal story. When you are sharing a personal story, your speech will be a winning speech. That's what my mentor told me. I'm telling you, please always use your personal story. And you use the word of the day. That is another good thing, because it is only your second speech. You did a great job on that also. Your gestures were very good. I could see your face. I could see your expression, everything glittering very well. I could definitely enjoy your speech very well. On the improvement side, I have to give a couple of improvements. I think you could use your hand also. You could show something about cooking that would add value, because I could not see any of your hand gestures, everything only about your face. That could have added more value, and some visual prop could have added more effect. That's what I thought. Otherwise, Mei Han, a great speech. I always And I am very eager to hear personal stories, and thank you for providing one. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Kanan, for that evaluation. Now it is time to invite my team, our team, to finish this session. Couldn't do this without helpers. One of the first helpers is me, the eye counter, the Wizard of Oz, I like to often say. Isabel had about 4 uhs. May, you had quite a few uhs, okay, so, and things that will work out in the coming speeches. Justin, you had over 10 uhs, okay, and you know. Trisha, I didn't see anything. Dora had a few uhs, a yeah, and a so. Rainey had a few you knows, uhs, and so's, and 2 kindas that you might want to watch out for. Aaron had a now, an a so. I caught myself saying a couple of uhs, and you know and I just caught a you know. One of my favorite crutch words is and. Those are the things I need to watch. So let's hear it for Sunny as eye counter. Now, thank you. Now I'd like to hear from our grammarian, Matt, and the word of the day being used today. Nubby.
Yes, Madam General Evaluator. I heard one person use it, and that was Mei Han during her speech. If anybody else used it, I must have been daydreaming during that time, so I apologize if there was somebody else that used it. Some words that I heard that I liked: precious, recharged. The smell of freshly cooked corn, I liked. Magically, contrast, spicy. And I thought this was funny. I don't like to cook, and cleaning up is worse. One suggestion for improvement, I heard somebody say, in the meanwhile, and that should have just been meanwhile. That's my report for tonight, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Matt, for that report. Next, we will have our body language monitor, Aaron Lung, our president.
Thank you very much. Now, looking at the windows of the world of everyone in the screen itself, I can see that definitely there are quite a few of different styles. I'll say when I look at let's put an example. Let's look at Dora, but she has closed the screen actually. Dora's screen is actually mainly focused on the study mode. That you can see that she's actually positioning a bit far away, and we can see that her phone was actually not on the eye level. So one of the recommendations I would like to give to Dora is that put it on the eye level so that we can look at you very clearly. Another one that I really love about is May's, because it's a very warm background light that her screen is actually showing right now. If you look at the gallery mode, you will see May in a very nice background, warm light. It gives us a present that we want to get to know you. This is the power of lighting inside your background. Another one that I really like about is Gerard. Always when I look at his screen, it's like a movie scene. When I say movie scene, you can see that the lighting is really, really perfect. You can see that it's like a writer at the corner trying to share with you all his inner stories and stuff. So this is bringing a very nice, mysterious element along with a very warm personality. So great job on those 3 as well. I love about Justin as well. Justin's background is very white. It's very clear that we can see his facial expression, etc. Now, I want to challenge Justin in terms of positioning a bit lower so that we can see more of your upper body instead of just the shoulder and the head, because we want to see your hands as well to show the gestures, projection, etc. So that will help us to feel much more connected as well. Finally, congratulations to Matthew for having a nice haircut. I think that would be that's one of the objectives of a body language, to observe every single facial differences of our audience as well. So that will be all for my report. Back to you. The others are very fine.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Body Language Monitor. Next, we will have our chat monitor, Kanan Sakara.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. I think the chat is used only for positive purposes. I could see that the feedback was given after every speaker has completed the speech. That was used effectively. I did not see anybody give table topics evaluation in the chat. I would encourage also after the table topics speaker is completed, give some positive evaluation. That would really will be helping the table topic speakers. That's all I have. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Kanan. Let's hear it for Kanan for that chat monitor report. Next, Mr. Timer, tell us what our times were today. Gerard?
Yes, Madam. Yes, Madam Evaluator. I'll just start off with, first was prepared speeches. First person up was Kanan. He had 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Then Mei Han had 5 minutes 39 seconds. Then we go to table topics. Dora was 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Justin was 1 minute and 40 seconds. Rainey was 1 minute and 56 seconds. And then we go to evaluations. Harren was 2 minutes 18 seconds. Kanan again 2 minutes 43 seconds. And I believe that covers everybody.
Thank you very much. Let's show some support for our timer. Did I miss anyone? Okay. Then next, I will give a general report of our meeting. I commend us. Last week we were really over time, and this week our Toastmaster of the Day and Sergeant at Arms made sure that we started on time. That was great. We also were short on members. Some of our key members were out who usually take up a role or two when we're down. And today, everyone stepped up to the plate when they were asked to do an extra role. And of course, Kanan Sakara did triple duty. Thank you so much for that, because we cannot do this meeting if we don't have people taking on roles. And of course, the main reason to take on a role is to become a more effective communicator or leader. One thing for us to challenge, I would like to say to Isabel, you've done great as a Toastmaster of the Day. One thing you did that could lead you into trouble is after Mei Han's speech, you actually started a dialogue with her. And if we were crunched for time, that would not have been helpful. But I know you love to do that, especially in table topics so well, you couldn't help yourself. And her answers were very interesting, but I wanted to point that out. Other than that, I have enjoyed this meeting. I think that it was great that the table topics master made sure that the guests were asked to be included, and then those who did not have roles. So that was wonderful. So I would like to just say everyone should give themselves a pat on the back today. And whether or not you were nervous, it didn't really show. I think everyone did a great job. So kudos to everyone. I'd like to now turn it back over to our Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you for conducting this very interesting, thorough, but concise evaluation section of the meeting. Thank you everyone for attending the meeting and for making this meeting successful. Now I return the control of the meeting to President Aaron.
Very much though. So first of all, I would like to have Trisha in the meantime making us not co-host so that we can actually do a poll. Let me see. Yeah, except Isabel, the others you can make not co-host, and then afterwards you can do the poll. I'll do some announcement first while Trisha is doing that. First of all is that next week we are going to have a world champion coming by, Willie Jones. Have confirmed that, and poster has been out, so feel free to look at it. And then feel free to bring your friends over, because it's going to be a 45 minutes workshop, along with 10 minutes Q&A. So this will be the 6th world champion, I would say, workshop that we'll be creating. And I hope that it will benefit all our members as well. So feel free to come by. It's free of charge to come by and sit by. We need a question master. We do need also our Toastmaster to actually facilitate the whole operation. And most importantly is that if you want to volunteer out in his workshop, like if there's any roles that he wants like a demonstration. We want to give priorities to our members first. So feel free to nominate yourself if you want to be part of that workshop as well as a participant. Now you can visit as a member as well. When I say participant, meaning that if really wants us to do a demonstration, we can be partnering with him in making this workshop a success. So this is a very key announcement. And once again, I would like to make the second announcement that Tricia, as being our next term president, so give a round of applause again for Tricia. Okay. And we have our new team ready by July 1st as well. So looking forward to it. Now, Tricia, the polls will be up. Okay. So everyone can actually do your poll. I always love the part where my Kanan always says, prefers not to be voted for.
Yeah, I don't want myself to. I don't want anybody to vote for me. I have told this many times.
I know, but we love to. No, it's good.
What happened? Why we don't have a general evaluator on the list as a facilitator? We have to vote for accountant.
The general next time put the general evaluate in there because we want to vote for her.
Oops, I apologize. I didn't.
Don't worry about it. I'm pulling a Kanan today. I don't want to be voted for.
You know we love you, Sunny.
I know you do. Thank you. Hey, Trish, you can only vote for one facilitator, just letting you know. I can, anyway. I can only vote for one.
Yeah, I think that's how this particular poll works, is that you can only vote for one.
No, well, we shouldn't say who were our favorite. Last time we could vote for more than one, but that's okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I think we can do the polls by editing it to make it multiple choice. So basically give more options for our members to choose, especially like the last one, we actually put the multiple choice as well.
Well, this is the first time that the poll has worked for me at all.
Exactly. So that is awesome. Awesome.
I just I clicked the button and it actually launched the poll. I'm just so excited.
Yeah. So if you I forgot to mention the workshop's title is called The Winning Age. So if you have any questions for our world champion, please prepare in advance. This world champion won back in, I think, if I remember correctly, it's 1996 or 1997. So he's a very, very, very powerful speaker. So definitely a heads up if you want to give a powerful, authentic speech. This is the guy.
Yeah, is it next week or week after?
Yeah,
Sorry.
You changed the date.
You said start of the meeting was 25th. Now you are changing it to 18th.
Originally,
because of the situation that he's not free early on, so I have to shift it up a bit of a schedule. So the 18th meeting will be actually shifted to 25th. I mean, for all the role takers.
Okay. We'll work on that.
Yep.
And that workshop is at the same time as this meeting?
Yes.
Yes, Justin. Yes.
Okay.
Same time, same place. We are here for you.
All right.
Yeah. So now is the poll whereby the poll results will be released. So Tricia, yay! So today we have two amazings and wow. I mean, like 50-50 going to there. We definitely want to improve to the amazing elements. So feel free to give us more feedbacks on that. Who is your favorite speaker? Can I still get voted? But congratulations to our first-time speaker, Mei Han. You're on applause for Mei Han.
Thanks.
Now I would like to hear Mei Han's award-winning thoughts.
Thanks everyone for voting for me. Actually, Kana is a distinguished Toastmaster, and she probably doesn't want to pick. Anyway, I actually didn't plan to give the speech until I saw the theme of the meeting. Really, this meeting thing gave me some idea about some thoughts I have in my mind that I never think I could put into a speech. So I'm very glad that I gave the speech and give some memory to my grandma and the dynamic of my family. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Next time, anything can be a story. Just remember that. Next, I would like to give the award to our best table topic speaker, Dora and Justin. Give a round of applause for them. So I would like to hear from Justin first on your winning thoughts. I'll guess.
I appreciate it. So just wanted to thank you guys just for including me in the meeting. And it's cool to see how the online format works. Bit of a challenge, I guess, for me. My first time, my power happened to go out right as the meeting was starting, but was glad to reconnect with you guys. But and have enjoyed the meeting, and thanks again.
Thank you. And if Dora is still there, you can say some winning thoughts as well for Dora. I think she might be busy heading for work. That's my assumption. If it's not opening, then I'll move on to the next awards. Next award. Who's your favorite evaluator? Thank you very much for voting for me, and thank you, Kanan, for letting me win. Because he said never to vote for him. So give a round of applause to myself, which is weird. Winning thoughts for today. Evaluation is an art. That's a saying from a friend of mine that says, if you are a good speaker, you can aim to be a great speaker, but you need to first know how to evaluate. You can speak all you like, but it might not be a great speech. But if you know how to evaluate, that is the start of a great speech. This evaluation is about hearing what people say and also giving a very thorough thoughts and in-depth analysis to make that speaker grow. So keep on doing that. It will also help yourself as well. Finally, the vote for the favorite facilitator. Let's give a round of applause to Isabel. Very great job on your hard work today. Without you, I think today's roll takers, they'll be like all bumping and jumping around. But with your call, everyone just like, okay, I want a roll taker, and then yes, I want to be one. You raise that mode up, and then we love to see that mode happen in all of our members. So give a round of applause to Isabel again. So Isabel, your winning thoughts?
Well, thank you, President Aaron. I think you give me too much credit. I think many members are doing double duty and triple duty. I stayed with one duty because I feel like I'm not powerful enough to take multiple roles. I just try to focus on what I signed up for. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Though I think Trisha closed the poll. I can't see it anymore. But anyway, there is also one more award called the President Award, whereby I want to recognize anyone's achievements. This award, I would love to give it to one person that I think has contributed so much to this club. Without this individual, the club will not be guided in a very good direction, or our members will not be feeling so motivated. I would like to give this award to Sunny Fridge. Yes, for that very simple reason, because look at all the members that has been coached by you. Just look at how much improvement that has been there, not just because of the people that you have coached, but also team members as well. So for that very simple reason, you are that relay support in our club. So give a round of applause to Sunny. Yeah, so Sunny, your winning.
Trisha is also Trisha tied with Sunny for this.
Trisha is tied for that.
Hold up for once, though. This is a different award. This is the
This is a
president.
different, yeah. This is a president award.
Yeah, I'm gonna for once accept it. But honestly, I thought he was talking about me at first, and then I said, no, that's Trisha. But just to be in the same room as Trisha, as Isabel so kindly pointed out. But I'll just say thank you and be humble. I can tell you that the way I've seen myself grow, today was not my best day as a general evaluator, but what I feel good about is that I was doing it not so much from a script, but just trying to remember it as the meeting goes on. And I challenged myself. Then I took the odd counter role. And that's what others do all the time. So when we have a low count, we still make teamwork makes the dream work. So thank you for recognizing me. I will accept it this time. I will be humble and just say thank you very much. And thank you, team. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. So it's really an honor to be working with you as well on this year's journey. Because, and most importantly, just look at how the members, when I say sunny, look at how the members feel like their eyes are opening up on that situation of inspiration. Final word for the for the best role taker for this year, as Trisha mentioned, is Trisha and Sunny, right? So give a round of applause for them for contributing so much for our club as well. So Trisha, your turn to shine.
Yes.
Well, if I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times, is that I love Toastmasters. I love this club, and I'm more than happy to be here every week and participate in whatever ways are needed, just because I'm so happy to be here.
Amen. Oh.
Thank you very much. And finally, any last calls? And really, I would like to pass the stage to our Sunny while she's going to prepare for